Within the deepest structures of your mind, etched into the fabric of human consciousness itself, lies a blueprint. It's a pattern, an instinct, a primal narrative that has driven humanity forward since we first looked up at the stars and wondered about our place beneath them. Carl Jung called this the archetype of the hero. And the journey it describes isn't just a story for ancient myths or blockbuster movies. It is the unfolding drama of Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey. This isn't about capes or superpowers in the conventional sense. This is about the raw, often brutal process of becoming who you are truly meant to be. It's about answering a call that echoes from the core of your being, a call to step out of the mundane, to confront the dragons within and without, and to forge a life of meaning, power, and authentic purpose. If you're here, it's because some part of you already feels that stirring, that dissatisfaction with the superficial, that yearning for something more. This video is your summons. We will dissect the stages of this epic, not as abstract psychological concepts, but as a direct roadmap for your own transformation. Prepare to look unflinchingly at the challenges ahead, for the hero's path is not one of ease, but of profound, life-altering struggle and ultimate triumph. This is the blueprint to your own legendary existence. The journey begins, as all great stories do, in the ordinary world. But let's be brutally honest. Your ordinary world, the one you inhabit right now, might feel less like a peaceful shire and more like a gilded cage, a comfortable rut, or even a quiet hell of unfulfilled potential. Jung understood that the ordinary world is the realm of the persona, the social mask you wear, the roles you play, the predictable routines that keep the deeper, wilder aspects of your psyche dormant. It's the life lived on autopilot, dictated by external expectations and the ego's desire for safety and approval. You might be successful by societal standards, yet feel annoying emptiness. You might be comfortable, yet profoundly bored. This ordinariness is not inherently bad, it's a necessary starting point. But the hero cannot remain here indefinitely. Stagnation in the ordinary world, for someone with heroic potential, breeds discontent, anxiety, and a slow spiritual death. It's the fertile ground for neurosis, as Jung would call it, the cry of the oppressed parts of your soul demanding attention. Take a hard look at your life right now. Where are you merely existing instead of truly living? Where are you playing small to fit in? This ordinary world, with all its comforts and familiarity, is the very thing you must eventually be willing to sacrifice, or at least disrupt, if you're to embark on Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey. The unexamined life, the unlived potential, that is the true tragedy Jung sought to help us overcome. Your ordinary world is the launching pad, but it can also become your prison if you lack the courage to heed the call. Then comes the call to adventure. This isn't always a dramatic summons delivered by a wizard. More often, it's an internal disturbance, a persistent whisper from the unconscious, a crack in the facade of your ordinary life. Jung saw the call as the self, the totality of your psyche, the regulating center, attempting to break through the ego's defenses to initiate growth and move you towards individuation, towards wholeness. It can manifest as a sudden crisis, a job loss, a relationship ending, a health scare. It can be a profound disillusionment with your current path, a dream that haunts you, a creative impulse that refuses to be ignored, or a deep-seated feeling that there must be more than this. It can even be a symptom, anxiety, depression, a sense of meaninglessness, which from a Jungian perspective isn't just a pathology to be medicated away, but a signal that a vital part of you is being neglected. The call is often inconvenient. It disrupts your carefully constructed comfort. It asks you to venture into the unknown, to confront what you've been avoiding. It's the first test of your courage. How do you recognize your call? Pay attention to what makes you uncomfortable, what ignites a spark of fear mixed with excitement, what challenges your current identity. It's often found in the direction you're most resisting. This is the self knocking, urging you to begin Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey. ignoring it is an option, but it comes at the steep price of your own becoming. And many do ignore it. This leads us to the refusal of the call. This is perhaps the most tragically common stage in modern life. The ego, that gatekeeper of consciousness, clings desperately to the familiar, to the perceived safety of the ordinary world. Fear is the primary motivator. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, fear of success even, and fundamentally, fear of confronting the disowned parts of oneself, the shadow. Jung understood this resistance deeply. The ego identifies with the persona, the mask, and the call threatens to shatter that identity. Better the devil you know, the ego whispers, than the devil you don't. This refusal can manifest in countless ways: procrastination, rationalization, I'm too busy, it's not practical, I'm not good enough, seeking endless distractions, developing psychosomatic illnesses, or clinging even tighter to the very routines and relationships that are suffocating your growth. The brutal truth is that refusing the call is an act of self-betrayal. It's choosing a slow spiritual atrophy over the potential for vibrant life. The consequences: stagnation, bitterness, resentment, a life haunted by what-ifs. Jung might say that the energy denied its rightful expression in the hero's journey turns inward, becoming destructive, leading to neurosis or a depleted sense of self. The world is full of people who refused their call, living lives of quiet desperation, their heroic potential gathering dust. Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, demands you recognize this temptation to refuse, to see it for the cowardice it often is, and to find the courage to say yes despite the terror. The comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Refusal is choosing the prison over the quest. If you find the courage to acknowledge the call, even hesitantly, you will often encounter the mentor, or what Jung termed the archetype of the wise old man or wise old woman. This is a critical stage where aid appears, often when you feel most lost or inadequate. The mentor archetype represents the collective wisdom of humanity, the guiding principle that can illuminate the path ahead. This isn't always a literal person, though it can be a teacher, a therapist, a coach, an elder who offers crucial advice or support. Crucially, from a Jungian perspective, the mentor can also manifest internally. It can be a sudden insight, a powerful dream, your own intuition finally breaking through the noise of your ego, or a synchronistic encounter with a book or piece of art that speaks directly to your soul. The function of the mentor is to provide encouragement, impart knowledge, offer tools, or simply give you the permission you might not be able to give yourself to proceed. They don't walk the path for you, but they can help you see it more clearly and equip you for its challenges. In Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, recognizing and accepting this guidance is vital. Sometimes the ego resists even this, too proud or too fearful to accept help. But the emerging hero understands that true strength lies not in knowing everything, but in being open to wisdom from all its sources, especially from the deeper archetypal layers of the psyche. This encounter provides the reassurance and the practical or spiritual tools needed to finally face the next formidable step. That step is crossing the first threshold. This is the point of no return, the moment you actively commit to the journey and step out of your ordinary world into the special world of adventure and transformation. It's where you leave the familiar behind and venture into the unknown, often fraught with peril and uncertainty. The threshold is guarded. These guardians can be external, societal pressures, disapproving family members, logistical obstacles. More powerfully, they are internal, your own doubts, fears, ingrained limiting beliefs, the voice of your inner critic screaming at you to turn back. This is a major confrontation with the inertia of your old life and the terror of true change. Jung would see this as the ego being forced to relinquish some of its control, to dare to step beyond its carefully constructed boundaries. Crossing the threshold requires a decisive act of will, a leap of faith. It's burning your bridges. It's buying the one-way ticket. It's saying yes to the call in a way that makes retreat impossible, or at least far more difficult than moving forward. This is where Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, truly ignites. Until you cross this threshold, you're merely contemplating the journey. Afterwards, you are on the journey. The relief and empowerment that can come from this commitment are immense, even though you know greater challenges lie ahead. You've proven to yourself that you are serious. You've chosen growth over stagnation, the unknown over the unlived life. Once across the threshold, you enter the phase of tests, allies, and enemies. This is the proving ground where the nascent hero is shaped and forged. The special world of the journey is not a gentle place. It's designed to challenge you, to strip away your illusions, and to reveal your true strengths and weaknesses. The tests are manifold. They can be physical challenges, intellectual puzzles, emotional crucibles, or moral dilemmas. Each test is an opportunity to learn more about yourself and the nature of the world you've entered. Allies will emerge, people who support your quest, who offer companionship, or who embody qualities you need to develop within yourself. From a Jungian perspective, these allies can be seen as externalizations of positive archetypal energies within you, or figures who help you connect with your anima, if male, representing your inner feminine, relatedness and soul, or animus, if female, representing your inner masculine, reason and spirit. Enemies will also appear. These are not just external antagonists. More profoundly, they are often projections of your own shadow, the disowned, repressed, or negative aspects of your personality. The figures who trigger you most intensely, who infuriate or frighten you, often hold a mirror to the parts of yourself you refuse to acknowledge. Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, requires you to navigate this complex terrain with discernment. You must learn who to trust, how to overcome obstacles, and crucially, how to recognize the lessons embedded in every encounter, especially the difficult ones. This stage is about building resilience, resourcefulness, and self-awareness. Each trial overcome, each alliance forged, each enemy understood, whether internal or external, strengthens you for the greater ordeal that lies ahead. As you navigate the trials, you begin the approach to the inmost cave. This signifies a descent, both literally and metaphorically, into the heart of darkness, the place where your greatest fear and your greatest treasure lie hidden. The inmost cave is the sanctuary of your deepest shadow, the core of your unacknowledged self, the chamber of your most profound wounds and your most potent, unexpressed power. Jung taught that the shadow, while often appearing negative because it contains everything the ego rejects, is not inherently evil. It holds immense energy, creativity, and authenticity. But to access these, you must be willing to confront what you have repressed. The approach is often filled with trepidation, anxiety, and a desire to turn back. The ego senses that a fundamental death and rebirth experience is imminent. Old defense mechanisms will flare up. You might face smaller, preparatory ordeals that test your resolve. This phase is about preparing for the ultimate confrontation. It requires stripping away any remaining illusions about yourself, any false bravado. It demands brutal honesty and a willingness to be vulnerable. In Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, this isn't just about facing an external villain. It's about the terrifying, yet essential, journey into your own personal underworld. What are you most afraid to look at within yourself? What secret shame or inadequacy do you guard? That is the direction of the inmost cave. The courage required here is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to proceed despite it. And then comes the ordeal. This is the central crisis of your journey, the major battle, the symbolic death and rebirth. Here you come face to face with your greatest fear, your primary antagonist, which in Jungian terms is very often a direct and overwhelming confrontation with your shadow, or the complex that has most dominated your unconscious life. It might be an external crisis that pushes you to your absolute limit, forcing you to draw upon reserves of strength you didn't know you possessed. But the true ordeal is almost always an internal one. It's the dark night of the soul, the moment where the old ego identity shatters. It can feel like dying, and in a sense, a part of you is dying, the limited, fearful, unactualized self. This confrontation is often painful, terrifying, and chaotic. You might be forced to acknowledge truths about yourself that you've spent a lifetime denying. You might have to surrender your most cherished defenses and illusions. The dragon you fight here is composed of your deepest insecurities, your repressed traumas, your darkest impulses. Jung emphasized that integrating the shadow is not about destroying it, but about bringing its contents into consciousness, understanding them, and assimilating their energy. This is where true transformation occurs. Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, hinges on your willingness to endure this ordeal without flinching, without retreating into old patterns. It's in this crucible that the dross of your personality is burned away, revealing the gold of your authentic self. Surviving the ordeal means you are fundamentally changed. Having faced death, whether literal or symbolic, and survived, the hero now attains the reward, often symbolized as seizing the sword or claiming the elixir. This isn't necessarily about material riches, though it can sometimes manifest that way. The true reward in the context of Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, is a profound psychological or spiritual treasure. It is a new level of consciousness, a deeper understanding of yourself and the universe. It's the integration of the shadow, leading to a more whole and authentic sense of self. It's the reclamation of lost power, creativity, and vitality. The sword might be a newfound clarity, a core truth you've grasped, a skill you've mastered, or the courage to live by your own values. The elixir could be self-love, compassion, wisdom, or a connection to what Jung called the self, the archetype of wholeness, the regulating center of the psyche that transcends the ego. This reward is hard-won. It's the direct result of having faced the ordeal and not been destroyed by it. There's often a sense of profound peace, empowerment, and liberation at this stage. You have faced your dragon and wrested something of immense value from the encounter. This treasure is not just for you, it has the potential to benefit others as well. But first, you must carry it back to the ordinary world. This stage marks a significant shift in your being. You are no longer the same person who began this journey. You have glimpsed, or perhaps even begun to embody, your heroic potential. The journey is not over. Next comes the road back. Having seized the reward, the hero must now return to the ordinary world, but this return is often fraught with its own challenges. The special world of the adventure may have changed you so profoundly that reintegration is difficult. You might be tempted to stay in the realm of transformation, or find that the ordinary world now seems dull or unwelcoming to your changed perspective. There can be a flight element here, perhaps forces from the ordeal are still pursuing you, or you face new obstacles trying to prevent you from bringing your treasure home. From a Jungian perspective, the ego, even after the ordeal, might try to reassert control, to misinterpret or co-opt the treasure for its own limited purposes. You might struggle to articulate what you've learned, or find that others don't understand or appreciate your transformation. Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, demands that you navigate this phase with awareness. The challenge is to hold on to the wisdom gained, to integrate the changes into your everyday life without becoming arrogant, isolated, or reverting to old patterns. This stage tests your ability to embody your newfound consciousness in practical ways. It's about learning to walk in the ordinary world with the extraordinary wisdom you've acquired. It requires humility, patience, and a continued commitment to your growth. The treasure is useless if it remains locked away. its true value is realized when it is brought back and shared. Before the final return, there is often one more crucial test, the resurrection. This is a final ordeal, a climax that purifies the hero and proves they have truly assimilated the lessons of the journey. It's a last-ditch attempt by the forces of the shadow or the old self to reclaim dominance. This can be an even more profound death and rebirth moment than the earlier ordeal, because it often involves a sacrifice of the hero's personal desires for a greater good, or a final shedding of the ego's last vestiges of control. It's the ultimate demonstration that the transformation is real and lasting. Jung might see this as the final integration of the self, where the ego fully accepts its role in service to this larger, wiser center of the psyche. The hero must draw upon everything they have learned, every ounce of their newfound strength and wisdom to pass this ultimate test. Success here means you are not just changed, but reborn, resurrected into a higher state of being, a more complete and authentic version of yourself. This is the point of atonement, which can be understood as at-one-ment, a state of harmony and integration within oneself, and often with the world at large. Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, culminates in this profound purification. You have faced the abyss, integrated its power, and emerged not just a survivor, but a master of your own inner world. Finally, the hero completes the cycle with the return with the elixir. Having survived the resurrection, proven their transformation, the hero comes back to the ordinary world, but they are no longer ordinary and they do not return empty-handed. They bring with them the elixir, the treasure, the wisdom, the insight, the healing, the new perspective gained from their journey. This elixir has the power to transform the world they return to heal the community, to inspire others, or simply to enrich their own life and the lives of those around them in a meaningful way. In Jungian terms, this is the fruit of individuation. The individuated person, having integrated the various aspects of their psyche, including the shadow and connected with the self, is now able to contribute their unique gifts to the collective in a conscious and authentic way. They live from a place of wholeness, purpose, and integrity. Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, doesn't end with personal enlightenment and isolation. It finds its ultimate fulfillment in service and contribution. The hero becomes a source of renewal, but the journey is, in a sense, cyclical. Life will continue to present new calls, new challenges. The hero, however, is now equipped with the wisdom and resilience to meet them, to continue the process of growth and self-realization. Your epic is not a one-time event, but a way of living consciously, courageously, and authentically. So, what does this ancient, powerful archetype mean for you here now in the midst of your modern life? Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, is not a myth to be passively consumed. It is a direct challenge, an urgent invitation. It means recognizing that the dissatisfaction, the restlessness, the quiet desperation you might feel is not a sign of your inadequacy, but the stirring of your own heroic potential. A call from the depths of yourself to embark on a path of profound transformation. It means understanding that the monsters you must face are rarely external. They are the dragons of your own unacknowledged fears, your limiting beliefs, your unprocessed traumas, your disowned shadow. And the greatest treasures, courage, wisdom, authenticity, love, purpose, are not found in external acquisitions, but are forged in the crucible of confronting these inner demons. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It demands brutal honesty with yourself. It requires the courage to step out of comfortable stagnation and into the terrifying unknown. It will ask you to sacrifice parts of your old identity, to endure periods of confusion, pain, and profound disorientation. There will be moments when you want to turn back, to succumb to the seductive whispers of your ego promising safety and mediocrity. But Jung's great insight and the promise of the hero's journey is that on the other side of this struggle lies not just survival, but true aliveness. It's the path to individuation, to becoming the unique, whole, and fully realized individual you were always meant to be. It's about reclaiming your power, integrating your shadow, and connecting with the profound wisdom of your own self. Look at your life. Where is your call to adventure being ignored? What threshold are you hesitating to cross? What inner mentors are you failing to heed? What tests are you avoiding, and what parts of your shadow are you projecting onto others as enemies? The map has been laid out. The stages are clear, but only you can take the steps. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop believing the lies that you are not capable, not worthy, or not ready. The readiness is forged in the doing. The strength is built in the struggle. Jung's archetype of the hero, your own epic journey, begins the moment you decide to answer the call, to say yes to your own becoming, despite the fear, despite the uncertainty. This is your life, your one precious, unrepeatable epic. Will you live it as a background character in someone else's story, or will you dare to claim your role as the hero of your own? The choice, as always, is yours. Embrace the discomfort, seek the trials, confront your shadow, integrate your power, and return not as you were, but as who you are truly capable of becoming. Your journey awaits. Begin it now.